right, everybody, just a quick update on the doors that I built for the Pioneer there. We got back from our trip. We went to Devil Ants, Buffalo Mountain, and Rock House, and it wasn't too bad really, but you can see there's a little bit of mud, and the doors helped big time with keeping the mud off. So I also went ahead and painted them before I left. I just couldn't stand the look with the bare aluminum. It just looked so out of place. So I got them painted, but I'm gonna get it cleaned up. It's a nice 50-degree day here in Ohio, beginning of December. So I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna get it cleaned up, and our next thing to do is we usually have a Christmas ride. Everybody puts decoration lights on and stuff, and we will run around the county and do our own. Well, it's not our own, it's there's quite a few of us anymore. We take the side-by-sides and tractors, and everybody decorates them up. We basically do kind of like a southern county side-by-side parade all around. So I'm gonna get her cleaned up, and I'll show you what the doors look like when it's all clean, or at least clean-ish. I ain't gonna spend a lot of time because she'll be out through the woods. The other thing I did is I got these tarps from coveralls.com, I think it was, and you can basically order pretty much like, you get these clear tarps, you can order them to the inch. They still have to be like a square or rectangles thing. I didn't see any place where you could order, you know, like an angle or anything like that. But you could get more rivets, or just these four, or no rivets, or eyelets, whatever you want to call them. You could also get them with Velcro, but I grabbed it with the four corners because I thought if I wanted to, I could just buy the kit and put in my own rivets where I needed them instead of having them everywhere for extra. But that helped keep the mud off the kids and keep the wind out of the back, and they appreciated it. So it was, you know, quick and easy. Just got these little bungee ball cords there, and it was a little bit of a hassle having to undo this all the time to get in the back. Kind of slowed things down, but this was just to see. They work pretty good though. I may come up with some kind of fastener right here to make hooking this part here quicker than trying to wrap these bungees around there, because you have to wrap it around a couple times to get it tight. So I may come up with some kind of quicker latch system, because once that's undone, then you can just, you know, hold it up out of the way and open the door as normal. But all right, time to get to washing. Alrighty, there we go. Clean enough. I don't to get the rest of the mud stains off there, I need to get a brush and brush it, and I rarely do that, just because, you know, it spends most of its time in the woods. It's not a pavement princess. We don't drive around the paved neighborhood, just, you know, beer cruising. So it's clean enough for what it is, because it's going to get dirty again, I'm sure. We'll load the kids up and we'll go out in the woods and cross the creek and climb some hills and make some new paths and it'll get dirty again, without a doubt. Did have a couple issues on this trip. My lower heater hose here was the clamp was a little loose, and so once it got warm and built a little pressure, it started spraying antifreeze back over everything. Wasn't enough to hurt anything. Stopped, tightened up the clamp, and just had to smell antifreeze the rest of the time, because there was antifreeze over there and some inside on the floorboard. So that's why I sprayed in here, get everything cleaned up. But heater worked great. Everything else worked great, except I got to replace the rear brake pads. They went bye-bye on this trip, and it was pretty much metal on metal, and it made a lot of noise and wasn't good, but it wasn't enough to stop, or wasn't enough to quit riding. Still had enough pressure to stop. The front brakes, it did all right. So I just got it cleaned up. So that's the update for this time. I don't know what's next for it. I got some plans for it, but I kind of decided I want to go a different direction, and this ain't never going to get me where I want to be. So I'll probably still tinker with this some. I'd like to buy another project and get started on it, because the problem with working on this is our buggy that we go in, and I hate having a deadline all the time where I got to get everything done and tested before we go on a trip. And I'm also worried some of the things I have in mind will compromise the reliability, and I really don't want to go 4, 5, 6 hours away and then have a problem that I created by modifying it and not have a backup ride. So kind of like to get started on a second ride, one that I don't have to rush too much on, because we can take this one as is. But I don't know, I may still chop the cage, because right now, since I added the Rough Country Pioneer 1000 shocks, it's just a little bit too tall with this roof. It hits right up here on the spring cover at the door in the back of our trailer. But all I gotta do is just add a little weight to the back end, and I mean, it just takes a little bit and it'll clear and go out. But I would like to build some new A-arms and offset the rear ones backwards about 1.5 inches, and I think about 3 inches longer. And I've looked, I think I can figured out a way to do away with the wheel spacers, so that the wheels will set in, and then I can make the A-arms longer, so it's not super wide, but you know, it's actually a useful width, because with the A-arms being longer, it'll have better travel, better articulation and stuff. And then the front, I haven't figured out a good way to get rid of the adapters yet. But the front is narrower than the rear the way it's set up currently, so I can still add about 3 inches to the front A-arms and offset them forward about 1.5 inches. So that would lengthen the wheelbase a little bit, make it a little more stable for going up and down the hills, better approach and departure angle, and hopefully a better ride. Not so bucky, you know, with that short wheelbase. It just, you know, wants to kick the rear end up big time. So we may do that. And new roof, new windows, chop the cage, but we'll see. Like I said, I use the thing so much that I hate having it down for working on. So again, another reason why I'd like to just build a new project and kind of build my own buggy from scratch. All right, guys, just a quick update. That's what it is. The doors work great. I like them. The handles and everything are holding up real well. Didn't have no issues with anything, you know, popping open or rattling or anything. So till next time, guys, have a good one. We'll catch you later.